Here with journalist and influencer Emily Austin. Thank you so much for taking the time here.
Thanks for having me.
We are in not only a military conflict right now, but a war of narratives. And I know that the pro-Israel influencers out there are almost on the front lines of this battle being fought in the media. How do you think it's shaping up so far?
It's tough. There's a lot of scrutiny that comes with it. It's nothing, unforeseen. It's something we've been dealing with before October 7th. And I have to say it's something that, because we are on the media side of things, not to say we could have predicted it, but something that came not as such a surprise because of the vile hatred that we see online all the time. My issue is that people are really underestimating the effect of social media, and they underestimate our jobs online, I call it. But by no means is it any of our full-time jobs, but it's equally as important as them, I would argue. And they don't understand how the media narrative shapes the reality of what's happening in the world.
So, in your role, how do you go about shaping that narrative? On a daily, on a weekly basis? Is there a strategy involved, or do you simply take it one battle at a time?
The most effective way, in my opinion, is to take it a battle at a time. I'll share this week just two of the things that I've done. So, being that my career is in sports, it's not, directed towards a Jewish community by any means. Like, my Jewishness online is because I'm a proud Jew, and if you watch me on sports and you watch me judge Miss Universe, you'll know that I love being a Jew. And with that comes the responsibility of also having to explain to people the truth, especially in times like this. So something this past week was being a judge for Miss Universe. I connected with all the misses of the world, and they're lovely women with huge platforms. And one of them, who I won't say her name because I don't want to embarrass her, posted something really pro-Hamas. And I don't think she knew what was going on. So I reached out to her and I said, by the way, I loved her. I voted for her. And I was like, hey, love, I just wanted to let you know what you posted is really harmful, and here's why. And I would like to know, why did you post that? So she answered me, because everyone is posting it in my country. And I said, okay, well, when everyone's standing on the wrong side of history, does that make it more right? And we got into a 30-minute conversation of why it was so harmful. She took it down, and now I know that I educated one more woman with such an influence on the reality of it. Now, that's one example. Another example is even pre-October 11th. There was a coach of an NBA team who posted something really condemning Israel over something they didn't do a couple years back. And I called him up on his cell phone. I'm like, oh my God, he has so many followers. This is horrible. I have to call him quick. And I told him, this is the reality of the situation versus what you posted. And why did you post it? My same question, why? And he said, because my team asked me to do it, and I couldn't say no. So I said, you are inflicting harm upon people because someone asked you to. You didn't do your due diligence into Googling something. Call me, And it's things like that we're doing every single day that actually make the difference. And it's just taking it one battle at a time.
It's always been an uphill battle within the media in terms of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. You've gone on TV a number of times since the conflict, this latest one, broke out. How do you feel that Israel is being treated now as opposed to in the past? Is there more sympathy from the media? Is there less understanding? Does it depend on which outlet you go on? Where does it? It's, I guess, somewhere in between.
Oh my gosh, yeah. First of all, the outlets who were so quick to condemn Israel when we allegedly blew up the hospital, which was confirmed to be completely false, they weren't so quick to retract their statement and saying, we messed up. That's a problem. The media cares more about the viewers nowadays rather than the actual reality of the conflict, and they don't understand the harm that they're putting onto Israel. And it does vary channel to channel. If you turn on Fox News, I'd say they have more of a, centrist point of view. My favorite word is allegedly. If you don't have the facts, just stick the word in. It's not hard. Don't blame Israel for something they didn't do. Versus you see more left medias like, Israel did this and Israel did that, and it'll come out that it's not true, and they'll never retract their statements. And it's just super unprofessional, and it defeats the point of journalism. So it's been scary because misinformation, just like online, on TV, carries weight. And when I see it, it just infuriates me, and I can't do anything about that.
How do you balance that journalist side of you that needs to have access to people, that needs to have credibility in speaking a balanced point of view, to the influencer side of you who wants the unvarnished truth about Israel and the Jewish community out there? How do you balance those two things?
Yeah, it's tough. It's funny and awkward, and I share this story. When I worked under Gilad Erdan a few years ago, I was really in the peak of ESPN week, NBA tip-off. It was so much sports, but Raisi was speaking in the General Assembly. Now, I really wanted to cover how vile that was, but I also really wanted to cover the Knicks home opener because my followers want that, and I don't want to lose them because I need their ears too when it comes to my advocacy. So you need to give them a little bit of both. So I remember storying me on an ESPN red carpet, and then the dictator in the United Nations, and then me condemning him for denying the Holocaust, and then me at an ESPN event later in the evening, and then the next day again at the UN General Assembly, and my followers are like, what's going on here? And I'm like, this is Emily. Like, you get both. You get the sports and you get the advocacy.
Congratulations on all the work you're doing. It's critical at this time. Good luck on emceeing the main event here tonight, the gala dinner. Thanks so much, as always, for your time. Emily Austin joining us here at the RGC Summit.
Thanks.